Blessings. All right. Wonderful. Give thanks. Really light enough. So this is herbal medicine school again tonight. And you know we have a computerized system with all the cameras there, but you know we have to do all the work. So tonight we're gonna just do this the manual stuff for the time being until we can get to the computer and have the camera, and we're gonna be more like in a school setting. You know what I'm saying? Wonderful. So we want to give thanks and praises to the Most High, Jehovah God, for the blessings and the wisdom that He bestowed upon man. You understand? And tonight we're going to talk about the action of herbs. So remember we had a program in New York. We talked about the 8-method therapy, and tonight we're going to talk about the action of the plants. Get it over here, son. See, they mean action of herbs and how they work. Now, if lots of people who are looking at our presentation would know what certain herbs do. We said we have pectorals. We said we had hepatics. So if you've been looking at the program before, I want you all to tell me what hepatics do. Mark it on the post. I don't know if you're all looking and learning. If not, you're going to crash. Oh, you understand? Wonderful. Tell me what the hepatics do. Tell me what the pectorals do. Because we had a program like that before. So we're going to school you all tonight. But tonight we're going to talk about the action of these plants and how they work into the body. Because we have to use the food as medicine. So we're going to talk first about the food over here. What's my now? Son? That's the average food that the Caribbean people eat every day. See them here? That's it. See them? And that's only a few. We couldn't find the others. So we have the yam, we have the tanias, we have the dashins, we have the blugger, we have the figs, we have the plantain, we have the bread nut. Yeah? We have the potatoes, Irish potatoes. You know? We have the rice. We have we have the cornmeal. Starch, and more starch. Yeah? Dig it? Starch. So we have some water. So we're drinking some water tonight, eh? Waters, eh? Okra and thing. The program finishing on the 15th, right? Right. So it starts that. Now, the Prime Minister of Antigua asked me in our meeting, why is the Caribbean countries have so much diabetes? And the first answer I gave him was, because we in the Caribbean countries is eating the same foods. Jamaicans eating the same food exactly like what we eat here. Trinidadians, St. Lucians, Vincentians, Antiguan, Grenadians. Eating the same food here. It's all we eat, starches. Yeah? Now, we don't want to offend anyone, because lots of people get offended when they hear the truth. But, you see them food here? Them food is slave master food. These foods came from the slave master. You could all call it ground food, and we need the ground food and blah, 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 but they all came from the slave master food. Now, over here, son. When it took Caribbean people, some from Ghana, in the back of Ghana, and they brought us to the Caribbean countries. Because we came in the Caribbean countries as slaves, but remember that we as people, we call it so-called black people, was already trading with the Arabs and the Caribs. That's factual. But when they brought us as slaves into the Caribbean countries, we had to work hard. So in order for us to work hard, they had to give us a starch diet, which breaks down into sugars, so we could work every day. This food here is from Peru. So it's not an African food, really and truly. This food is called yam, have lots of cyanide. So when they're taking this food here and turn it into cassava, this comes from this. See? They remove the cyanide from the yam, and they squeeze the cyanide out of this food, and then they make it into cassava. See? Now in Africa, the African man used cassava, but in a different context. You understand? So I, Patrick Dells, not anybody else, if you're all offended, that's all good. Me, Patrick Dells, said these foods are slave foods, the slave master foods. They gave us these foods at the time of slavery to work us hard so we could work. And we developed the eating habits of eating these foods on a regular basis. Some of them might say, when my grandmother and my grandfather ate them food and they lived to be 95, 98, and 100 years old. Yes, they did. But before, the food was much cleaner, number one. Number two, your grandfather and grandmother used to walk a lot. They didn't have no cars driving around long term. They used to be walking. So they used to burn the sugars up. You see? Now everybody's driving. See what I'm saying? So I'm saying that these foods here is starch. 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 So, and it's from the slave master. Breadfruit from the slave master. Yam from the slave master. Dashin. Tania from the slave master. Dashin, which is not here, we can't find that one, from the slave master. They all came from slavery. So they put us on a starch diet. And because we are eating these foods on a regular basis, it affects the pancreas in a negative way. And because they are acid food, see them here? Acid, 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 acid. Huh? Over here, acid. All acid foods. So, let me hear. Watch over here. Watch. Acid, 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 acid. And I don't want to offend anybody, because we have to understand that people make these products, and that's all good. But when you have diabetes, you can't use them. You see what I'm saying? And that's the reason why I told the Prime Minister of Antigua that the Caribbean people is dying prematurely because we were not taught how to use the food as medicine. And that's why we are having tons of diabetics. Young people now coming in with diabetes because they're eating the same way that a slave master taught us to eat. You understand? I don't want to offend nobody of no color. What I'm saying is that's reality. That's factual. Now, if you come to Grenada, now these foods here over here, they are in season. See? Now they're about to go out of season. And it is very imperative that we eat the foods that are in season so that they can correspond to the blood. You understand? We have to eat them in season. Now these are going out of season and mangoes are coming in. Your cashews are coming in. So when they go out, we don't use them no more because they come in season. We don't have them having all season around. They come in season and they go out. These are now in season. Oranges, tangerines, grapefruits, families, same seeds, do the same thing. But they also acid fruits too. See? Now, the average person in Grenada and the Caribbean countries, St. Lucia, Dominica, St. Vincent, Antigua, Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, you all can never do that. We eat roti. Roti is starch with potatoes in the roti. Also chana, starch. The dough, starch. Chicken roti, starch. Protein, acid. Fish roti, acid. You understand? So we have an acid diet, starches. So when we go to any restaurant in the Caribbean country, and you all can never doubt that either, when you ask for a stew fish or a stew chicken, what do they give you? They give you all the ground foods. They call it provisions. All of them here. In here, they put this in here. They put some green fig. They put a piece of ripe plantain. They put a piece of blogger. They might put some what do you call it again? Some tania, some dashin, some breadfruit, pale starch. And then on the top of that, they put a piece of fish on the side. Or some stewed chicken in there with lots of gravy. And a small amount of these foods in there, which is alkaline. See? So they feed you an acid diet every day. Starches are acids, proteins are acids, fats are acids, oils are acids. So long term, using these foods on a regular basis hamper the function of your pancreas. and cause your pancreas to burn itself out long term, because your pancreas functions in a pH of 8.0, 8.3 alkaline. But because we are eating the slave master food up to this day, because we are so Eurocentric, we are still calling our prison Her Majesty's prison. We still calling the Grenada Police Force the Royal Grenada Police Force. We are still calling our land in Grenada and the Caribbean countries the Crown Land. So we are still Eurocentric and still eating Eurocentric foods. See? But it's problematic. So when you go to the restaurant now and you buy all these foods together, one plate, starch, 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 bread not starch. It's a good food, but it's a starch. Automatically, long term, because they are both acid foods, starches are acid, proteins are acid, fats are acids, oils are acids. And now you're eating fried fish with these, fried chicken with these, make it more acidic. So what happens to you is you create havoc in the organ system, because now you have foods moving like this, slow, not like this. So when you slow up the movement of your foods start fermenting in the stomach, because of how you eat this food together. Starches, starches, starches. Once your food ferments, it creates more acids. Once your food ferments, it creates putrefaction. And now it creates havoc in your intestines, causing an overloaded intestines, a toxic overload of your liver, a toxic overload of your pancreas. Because now the pancreas now have to work extra hard to break down your foods, because they're all acid foods. And your pancreas function in an alkaline terrain, alkaline foods. But now you're eating 80% acid foods and only 10 to 20% alkaline foods, whereby your body function in the 9 fluids in terms of 1, alkaline. See what I'm saying? So I don't want to offend anybody, but we are eating wrong in Grenada. We are eating wrong in Trinidad. We are eating wrong in St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and Antigua, and Jamaica, and Bermuda, and Guyana, and Haiti. We are eating wrong. And that is the reason why we are coming down with diseases long term. Diabetes is a killer. And because we are eating a starch diet every day for 20 to 30 years, we kill the pancreas. And then the pancreas does not work for us anymore. It can't produce the enzymes that is supposed to produce from the exocrine part of the gland. And now, if you are prone to getting diabetes steps in. And diabetes is full in the Caribbean. Caribbean people are full of that. You understand? Because they don't eat the alkaline foods. Because these foods are all acid. I call them the slave master food. I don't eat them. I don't. It sounds strange, but I don't eat them at all. So the average Caribbean family eat these foods like that. And now they have the fast food place coming in, even worse now. So our younger generation is more sick than the older generation. And the younger generation can never reach the age of 50. You understand? Because they're eating the wrong food. And that's the reason why you're getting diabetes. That's the reason why you're getting acid reflux. That's the reason why you're getting Crohn's disease and diverticulitis and IBS and leaky gut. You know what I mean? And all these itis, they call inflammation, because you are creating havoc in the digestive system with this food not moving properly, because it's a starch diet you eat in the Caribbean. Them food right here, starches. All starch. So you must hamper the function of your pancreas. You must hamper the function of your liver. You must hamper the function of the sewage system, the bowels, the large intestine. That is, you must hamper that, because you have 3 meals per day. Eat a meal in the morning, acid. Eat a meal in the afternoon, acid. Dinner, acid. All acid foods. And then all of a sudden, you're eating 3 meals per day, and you go to the bathroom once per day, because the other 2 meals is causing a traffic jam in your digestive system because of the way you eat them together. Acid foods, starch foods. And that's the reason why we're so sick in the Caribbean countries. You know what I mean? And unless the Ministry of Health in all the Caribbean countries come together and start teaching our people how to eat the foods instead of saying, oh, ground food is good for us. Yeah, right. If the ground food was so good for us, this ground food over here, how come we have so much diabetes in Caribbean countries? If these ground foods were so good for us, how come we have so much cancer in Grenada? How come we have so much cancer in Trinidad and Tobago, and St. Lucia, and St. Vincent, and Antigua, kidney disease? How come? Because the acid and the kidney, the heart, the lung, the liver, they all function in an alkaline system. See, but because the diet in Grenada and the Caribbean countries is so acidic, it kills the blood, it kills the organ, causes organ overload. And that's the reason why, people are dying from all these troubles that they say can't repair. So you must go back and revolutionize your mind and start eating differently. And in that way, you will fix any troubles that you have. So, we teach you tonight, do not eat them with fish. Do not eat them with chicken. Do not eat those with beef. Do not eat those with anything that is a protein, because eventually it's going to kill you long term, because they don't work together. Because the protein slows this food up long term in the stomach. Because this food right here, this here, look at them here. See them here? Look at them here. These foods, they digest where? In your mouth, not in your stomach. They digest in your mouth. See? So when you eat them with the protein will slow them up in your stomach, because they don't digest in your stomach, they digest in your mouth and in the small intestines, whereby they finish the process of digestion. But because they are acid and you mix them with the protein, fish, chicken, pork, beef, and turkey will slow them up. And once it slows up, it's going to damage your pancreas long term, and you're going to go to where you reach to a point of no return where you kill your pancreas, the endocrine part and the exocrine part of the pancreas. So learn how to combine your foods. If you're going to eat them, learn how to combine them, and then you will have better pancreatic health. Right? Now, this food has cyanide. Black men should never eat this food, because prostate cancer is on the rise in the Caribbean countries. I saw 3 men today with prostate cancer, all under the age of 60. And the man said, I love yam. I said, you love yam? That's the reason why I got it, because I love too much yam. This food has a lot of cyanide, and it kills the prostate long term. So if you're going to eat this food, as a man, try to eat it once in a while, or eat it as a cassava. Right here. Dig it? Wonderful. Let's go to the action of the herbs now. And always eat your food in season. Now, look at this here. This is called tamarind ball in Grenada. And a lot of the Caribbean people make them too. And we don't want to stop anybody from making your tamarind ball, because it's creativity of our people. But you see it have there? White sugar. See that here? Sugar. See that here? Sugar. Brown sugar. See? So, because we have so much diabetes or diabetics in the Caribbean countries, we have to look at the excessive amount of sugars that we're putting into the system. So when you have diabetes, you don't eat it. If you don't have diabetes, you can. You know what I mean? We don't want to spoil anybody's way of life for making $1. But at the end of the day, if you have diabetes, leave them alone until you retrain your pancreas to function well. And anytime you're eating anything that has any sugars, anytime you're eating any food that have sugars, chew some lettuce behind it. The lettuce goes in and it breaks down the sugar, because they have enzyme in the pancreas, so that your pancreas can function better in terms of the enzyme that is produced in the exocrine part of the gland. Okay? Wonderful. Starch. Right, let me go to the action of the herbs. Now, herbs have different action, and herbs have different energy. So we're going to go to the action of the herbs now. Have your pen and paper ready now. We're going to talk now. Go ahead. First, we're going to go to the Galactogog. The Galactogog are plants that we use for women who is breastfeeding to increase the production of a woman's breast milk. These herbs, they help women who are breastfeeding to increase breast milk production. So when a woman have a baby, and we know for a fact that the woman's breast milk is the child's protection, not the vaccines. The woman's breast milk have a chemical like what shark produces in the liver that protect the child from any disease. You understand? While the child's immune system is being fully developed. So these herbs, if the woman is not producing the breast milk, we call them Galactogog. Galactogog are plants that help women who is breastfeeding to increase the production of their breast milk. The first one, this one here, is called blue vervain. Although blue vervain is a nervine, and it works for women, women who go through menopause and have anxiety. It works well for women who want to increase breast milk. All right, it's called a Galactogog. A Galactogog. Don't forget the name of the plant. Galactogogs. So you have vervain. You have another one called miltissa. You have fennel seed. You have aniseed, and you have another herb called goat's rue. Keep it there so you can mark it down for me. Have your pen and paper. Don't forget the name of the action of the plant. It's called a Galactogog, and it helps women who are breastfeeding to increase breast milk production. And the herb that can be used there is vervain, fennel seed, aniseed, goat's rue, and miltissa. Next one. You all have everything done, right? Everybody can see properly. We want to teach our people, man. Wonderful. We have much more to teach you all, you know. A lot of things. You don't see nothing yet. Next herb, next actual plant is called emollient. Look at the herbs. Look at what they do. Emollient are herbs that apply to the skin to soften or protect the skin from heat, bruising, ulcers. Don't forget the name of the plant. Look at here. E-M-O-L-L-I-E-N-T. Emollient. Emollient plants. Emollient plants, don't forget. Emollient plants are plants that apply to the skin to soothe or soften the skin tissue to prevent infection. So it protects your skin. Right? Follow me now. These plants, called E-M-O-L-L-I-E-N-T, emollient, herbs that apply to the skin to soften, soothe, or protect the skin. They act as what we call external, as the emulsion act on the internal tissue, like sea moss. So these plants, they act as external emulsion plants to soothe or soften or protect your skin from harm. All right, don't forget the name of the plants. Look them up here right here. Look at them right here. Look at the plants. Slippery elm, sea moss, goat's rue, marshmallow. All right, they are plants that we apply to the skin to soften, soothe, or protect the skin from harm. Or if you have infection of the skin, they act externally as the emulsions act on the internal tissues of the body. Like when you have an ulcer on the belly in your intestines. All right? So they act as the emulsion plants on the skin. See them here? Slippery elm. See it here? So, you can soak the slippery elm in warm water overnight, and the next morning, this is going to turn very sticky. That's what they call the slippery elm. It's good for the stomach when you have acid stomach. It's good for when you have ulcers internally. But if you have any kind of bruising on the skin or ulcers on the skin, you can make it into a tea and it will get sticky, and you can just wash the skin with it, and it protects and softens and soothes your skin. All right? Don't forget. You're going to have more classes and more plans to teach you how to use these herbs, okay? Next one. Anybody have them written down? All right, wonderful. Next one is called anti-bilious plants. Anti-bilious plants help the body to remove excessive amount of bile, thereby reducing liver and gallbladder congestion, getting rid of jaundice, and preventing liver stagnation and gallbladder tumors. We call them anti-bilious plants. Mark them down for me. Anti-bilious plants. Anti-bilious plants help the body to remove excessive amount of bile, thereby reducing liver and gallbladder congestion, jaundice, because jaundice is not a disease, but it is a symptom of a disease, and preventing liver stagnation and gallbladder tumors. They call them anti-bilious plants. Anti-bilious plant. Mark them down for me. You all can learn and teach somebody else. All right? These herbs are mugwort, barberry, golden seed, dandelion root, balmony, B-A-L-M-O-N-Y, balmony, mugwort, barberry, golden seed, dandelion root, balmony. These are what we call anti-bilious plants. And when a man say, I'm going to give you anti-bilious plant, you're supposed to know when he gives you an anti-bilious plant, what the plant is doing to your liver. It helps the body to remove excessive bile, thereby reducing liver and gallbladder congestion, jaundice, and preventing liver stagnation and gallbladder tumors. We call them anti-bilious plants. Don't forget them. Mugwort, barberry, golden seal, dandelion root, and balmony. So if you go to a herbalist and you have jaundice, or you have liver cancer, or you have gallbladder congestion, he's supposed to give you anti-bilious plants. And you look at the bag and see the plants here. If none of them is here, he's not giving you anti-bilious plants. Although there are many, but these are the main plants he would have to give you if you have troubles in your liver and your gallbladder. They're called anti-bilious plants. Don't forget them now. We are now going to what we call the diaporetics. Diaporetics help or aid the body in eliminating toxins. So diaporetics are plants that help you to sweat. They aid in elimination of toxins and promote perspiration. You must perspire. If you don't perspire, you know what's going on. You must perspire because it is one of the 8 methatherapy, sweating. So these herbs help you to sweat, and once you sweat, you can wake up the lymphatic system. You can put them in your bathtub and soak them in hot water and take a bath with these plants, and they make you sweat a little bit more to remove lots of toxins from the skin. All right. So ginger is one, cayenne pepper is one too. They call them diaporetics plants. Don't forget them now. Don't forget, if you can't sweat and you go to a herbalist and the herbalist say, well, I'm going to give you some diaporetic plants, you're supposed to know, because you know Patrick Does taught you that. What diaporetic plants are. They are plants that aid in elimination of toxins and promote perspiration, which in turn help your lymphatic system to remove toxins. It's called sweating in the 8th methatherapy. We talked about that before. Ginger, lime blossom. You know what lime blossom is? The lime peel, or the very small lime leaf of the tree. We call it lime blossom. They act as what we call a diaporetic plant. Spearmint, peppermint, yarrow, and cayenne pepper. Don't forget, look at them right here. And ginger. They're what we call diaporetic plants. They help it to sweat or remove toxins and promote perspiration. Don't forget them now. Wonderful. We're almost there. Last one. We're going to have some more for you all. You all have a lot to learn now. All right. The last one we're going to talk about tonight is called febrifuge. Febrifuge, or they call it antipyretic. Febrifuge or antipyretic plants. What is the antipyretic plants? Any antipyretic plants help the body to reduce fevers. Don't forget now. Any antipyretic plants help the body to reduce fevers. Not to get rid of the fever, but to reduce the fever so that you can go to the fever without discomfort. So we don't want to stop the fever because the fever is not a bad thing. Fever is telling you that the body is fighting an infection, either viral infection or bacterial infection. So you don't want to get rid of the fever. But if the fever goes to 102 degrees Fahrenheit, we can use what we call the antipyretic plants to reduce the fever to a number where you can function better till the body kill the virus or kill the bacteria and the fever will disappear. Boneset, catnip, got them in together. Boneset and catnip together. Pennyroyal, hyssop, elderberry. These are only some of the plants that we're going to talk about tonight that reduce fevers. These two here are the best. Pennyroyal, this one right here, is a plant you have to be careful with because it has a lot of toxicity. So we don't want to give it to children. But if it's an adult, we can give the adult this particular plant to use because it's from the Lamaceae family. But because there is a lot of alkaloids in the plant, and if a woman uses it and she's pregnant, she can abort. So if you are pregnant, we don't want to use the pennyroyal at all. But you can use the hyssop, the catnip, the boneset, and the elderberry if you have a fever. They call what we call antipyretic plants. Don't forget now. Antipyretic plants. You all can learn the plants. We're going to give you a lot more of them. We're going to teach you how to use the plants and the action of the herbs. You know what I'm saying? So you call antipyretic plants. And they'll help the body to reduce fevers. Not get rid of the fever, but to reduce the fever to a number where the patient could be comfortable. All right? We don't get rid of fevers. We reduce the fevers. Wonderful. Have them there? Wonderful. All right? Let me go now. Almost done. Wonderful. Give God the glory. So, once you know the action of the herbs, ain't no herbalist can fool you. None of them care who they are. Once you know how the herbs work, and you say, hey, Mr. Herbalist, I want some antipyretic plants. If you know what that is, he know about herbal medicine. You know what I mean? So you're going to teach him too. You want herbs that help to reduce fevers. Not get rid of the fever, but reduce your fever. Alright? The next one we're going to have, be in New York on Thursday because we have to go back to New York. I don't want to go in the cold, but I have to because of the emergency of business. I have to go to New York only for 5 days. On Thursday. And then we have Christie books. We have the cold and flus. We have the daily detox and Christie books. We have the circulation blend. We have the fibroid formula. We have the prostate formula because a lot of men is coming on with prostate cancer. And we have the yeast and parasite formula coming out now. We have the lymphatic formula, LymphFlow. We have one for underactive thyroid. We have one for the heart. We have one for the pancreas. We have a lot of them. And we're just going back to New York to just make sure that everything is okay so that you could be comfortable. Now, we had some people who didn't get quite some wrong address, right? Now, some people who ordered for some of the cold and flus and daily detox formulas we have on the website, some of them gave wrong address. And we don't want people to call and say that they didn't get the stuff on time because some of the address is wrong. Because when the brother went to the post office, the post office looked at the address and said, came up on the computer that it's wrong. So we, I think Christy sent you all some email to correct that address so that the brother could go back to the post office to send back the all packages, okay? And each package that you get have a t-shirt in there. So when you're going to order for anything on the website, christybook.biz, you're going to give her your size, and then we will send a t-shirt in the packet for you, you know, on us, you know what I'm saying? If it's a large, you put a large. If it's a medium, put a medium. If it's an XL, put an XL, because that is on us. We're going to print some more t-shirts, and we're going to have our t-shirts in the package for you as a gift, okay? Wonderful. And we have a parade coming up in December. Yeah, big parade too. Huh. Big parade. And we bring in a lot of toys for children, free of charge. We bring in a lot of things for the kids, for the children, you know, for December. You know, just so-called Christmas. I don't celebrate that, but you know what I mean? But we bring things for the children. So we have lots of things coming for the children. So Christy is going to be on the road on the 23rd of December with a big parade. And we're going to have lots of toys for the children, lots of, you know, goodies for the kids, free. So we're going to have your kids lining up on the 23rd. From a certain, we're going to have it on the radio station, on the TV station. So we could give back to our people, give back to the children who can't afford to buy a toy for the so-called Christmas or the so-called holidays. Alright? Then again, what again? We're doing some CDs now. Yeah? Conscious music. And don't forget, we are finishing our 30-day program. We're finishing our 30-day program on the 15th. And after the 30-day program, we're going on another yeast and parasite cleanse for 14 days. Looking at the moon and killing the world on the parasite of yeast and fungi in the body. Alright? So the 15th, after the 15th, prepare yourself for another program on the yeast and parasite cleanse. And we're going to keep everybody healthy as much as possible. Don't forget, leave them foods alone. Or if you're going to eat them sparingly, or do not combine them with a protein food. Don't forget, they were starches. And that's the reason why we in the Caribbean is dying from diabetes, complication, kidney troubles. Because we're eating too much of these starch foods. Because it's slave master foods. You understand? Or, if you have diabetes, leave them alone. If you have diabetes, don't eat them. Leave them alone till you can retrain your pancreas to function. And we have a diabetic formula coming on the website from next week. We're going to have one for yeast and parasite. We're going to have diabetic formula. We're going to have a heart formula. We're going to have a high blood pressure formula. On the active thyroid formula. We're going to have one for the brain support. So we're making a lot of formulas because we are working with a biochemist to make sure that when we give you a formula, it works for you. Okay? So again, New York Thursday, only for 5 days. It's cold. But because of business, I have to go back to New York again in that cold weather to do my business, to satisfy our people. Okay? So until, give thanks and praise to the Most High. And give thanks and praise to Christ. And don't forget to keep our children away from drugs, because a lot of kids getting mentally sick in the mind. You know what I mean? And don't forget, KRISTYBOOKS.biz if you want to order for the cold and flu, the prostate, the fibroid, or the daily detox. You can go to Christy Books, KRISTY.biz, or call 1473-421-9604, because while you're complaining about I don't answer phone, but you don't understand. I have thousands of messages in my phone. I'm not a robot, you know. I don't want to get sick either. So I have to take care of myself. So go to Christy Books and do your consultation, or call 1473-421-9604. And I will answer as much as I can. But I'm not a robot. I run a clinic here from 10 in the morning to 6 in the evening. And when I come home on time, so I can't go on my phone and answer everybody. So people have to understand. You know what I mean? Because when I get sick, nobody can help me. Blessed love. Alright? Or call 718-469-0985 and ask for Ashanti. And he will take care of you with the herbal supplements. Okay? Bye-bye. Here. Don't take it off yet, sir. Give God the glory. Wonderful. Blessed love. Big boy. Thank you, Santon. I love you. Cool. Say you love me too, man.
I love you too.
Say it louder, man.
I love you too.
That's right, boy. Say you love me too, bro. And we're having some CMOS. We're having some CMOS next week, coming up with some nice CMOS for you all. About 50 pounds of CMOS we're going to come up with next Thursday. And we're going to have it at Ambrosia, 3306 Church Avenue. Give thanks and praises and always love your neighbor as yourself. And don't forget to give Jehovah God all the glory, because he's the ultimate healer of all things. Blessed.